Hey, what's going on? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series, and today, oof, we got a week. We had a week. Let's talk about it.
You put over 200 yards in that second half. What was that message?
I think it was just, us coming out. Coach T, he challenged us at halftime, just like you said, and the offense and defense showed up in the second half. So just proud of everyone for executing.
Justin Fields, man. It feels good to know Justin Fields is doing well. Let's talk about it. So, Justin Fields was 25 for 32, 245 yards, a touchdown and an interception, which is a weird interception. He shouldn't have thrown the ball. I don't think he should have thrown the ball. He threw the ball in. It was virtually a pop-up. It was like a pop-up and then scramble, and then they ended up intercepting. They'd be on the screen. He looks like a real legit NFL starter right now. Like I said, if his like ceiling can be Geno Smith with that can run better, I'm completely fine with that. But he looks really good. Like I said, I don't have his rushing stats on here because he didn't need to rush. Najee Harris was 70 yards, 18 carries. Calvin Austin, I haven't heard that name before. I'm going to have to look more into him, was 4 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. This is just the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win, and this is the way they're going to win, and they're going to keep doing it. Who am I to be, nervous about how they win? Great defense, timely touchdowns, steady quarterback play. You can win a lot of football games that way. And at this point, both Justin and the Steelers just need to win games. They just got to make the playoffs. They just have to make the playoffs at this point. I'm happy for Justin, like I know him personally. So shout out to Justin. Shout out to Justin. And so we're gonna get into quite possibly the worst game I've watched since probably one of the Bears games last year. No, that Minnesota-Chicago game from last year. This game was just as bad. We're going to talk about the numbers. Caleb Williams was 33 for 52, 363 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Romo Duce finally introduced himself as a primetime receiver, 6 receptions, 112 yards, and a touchdown. So him and Caleb got their first touchdowns of the year. And then we got Cole Kmet, who was 10 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. And so then we're going to go to Anthony Richardson, 10 for 12, 167 yards. 2 terrible interceptions. I'm talking about interceptions was awful. And then Justin Taylor, 23 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Anthony Richardson looked awful. He's such a boomer bust. He'd be like, oh my God, he looks good. Then he'd be like, oh my God, he llooks awful. So I don't even know what to make of I don't even know what to make of Anthony Richardson. I don't even know. The interceptions that he threw, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are we doing? What who did you see? Why did you see it? And what told you to do that? What told you to do that? It's like that one when Patrick Ewing was talking to that player. He was like, "Do you see that? Do you practice that shot?"
Step back one-legged. What kind of shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot? Do you work on that shot?
Do you make that shot? It was one of those throws. Like, bro, do you throw that anytime other than now? Like, it was terrible. Couldn't even really get a good evaluation on Caleb because the game was so bad. So I want to say he took a leap. He's doing. I dropped my thing again. I want to say he's doing this, but I couldn't get a great evaluation. The game was so bad. So I'm going to just throw this game in the trash. But I did want to talk about it. I'm not really going to take nothing from this game. And we're going to see both of these guys next week. Wardrobe changed. Act like the movie magic. I changed clothes. But, so it's a few games that I didn't cover that I wanted to talk to you guys at the end of this video. So, Green Bay, Kyler Murray, and Geno. So, Green Bay, let's start with them. Coaching definitely matters. Malik Willis was 13 for 19, 202 yards, a touchdown, and won 30-14. Now, granted, they're playing the Titans, but coaching matters because I thought he was a bust. If you go to some of my videos last year, I was saying he was a bust, and I don't know what they're going to do moving forward. And then Will Levis came in, and he got gifted to be able to go to an organization that actually values offense, unlike Mike Vrabel, who didn't value. So shout out to Green Bay. Shout out to Malik Willis. I'm glad to see that he's actually in an offense that cares about him. Kyler Murray, 21 for 34, 207 yards, 5 carries, 45 yards, touchdown, interception. Didn't get to watch this game. They played the Lions. Don't really have an opinion. Obviously, I didn't watch it. So here's the scores. Here's the numbers. And the Panthers benching Bryce Young and then inevitably winning. That's normally what happens. There's a reason Andy Dalton is a backup. And he will prove to you why he's a backup next week. So I'm not really worried about, is it Bryce's problem? No. It's a Carolina Panthers issue. It is a Carolina Panthers issue. Let's not sit here and act like it's not a Carolina Panthers issue. They won one game. They feel like they high and mighty. Next week they get blown out, and we'll be right back to where we started. So, but CJ Stroud, 20 for 31, 215 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions. O-line issues, and it just wasn't their day. Just from the little highlights I've seen, it just wasn't their day. It happens. You flush that down the toilet and you move on. But don't really have a huge analysis. It was so much going on. So, he'll be better next week. I don't expect him to play this poorly, or the offensive line to play this poorly going forward. So those are the games that I did not. Those are the games that I did not get a chance to like watch in depth. Oh, shout out to Colorado! What a game! I'm gonna put his numbers on the screen too. Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. My God, like you're not supposed to win that game. You're just not supposed to win that game at all. So shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Deion. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let them kids storm the field. Y'all will be okay. Let's get to Cleveland that I actually did get to watch. So, 21 for 37, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns for Deshaun Watson. You can look at these numbers and be like, oh my God, Deshaun had a Deshaun game. Yeesh. He did. But there's no reason they shouldn't have won this game. Y'all lost to the Giants. I'm talking about like fumbles and drop passes, and they did everything. The offense did everything in their power to sell the defense again. And I don't think it was necessarily even Deshaun's fault this time. It was just the offense as a whole. So they need to figure that out because they're wasting a top defense. And Myles Garrett got nicked up in this game. They're wasting a great defense. So Coop, 7 receptions, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he played well. Malik Neighbors is the truth. He's the truth. I don't have his numbers sitting next to me, but he was definitely the truth. Like I'm looking at these highlights for Cleveland, and I'm looking at this dude catching everything known to man from Danny Dimes. That should tell you everything you need to know. Malik didn't even want to go there, and now he like having an Odell rookie season. Eagles and the Saints. I was going to say Lamar. Jalen Hurts was 29 for 38, 311 yards and an interception. Barkley, 147 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. And Goddard, 170 yards, 10 receptions, no touchdowns. This was the best non-scoring game I've ever watched. 3-0, going into the fourth quarter, and you're like, oh my God, this game is boring. No. This was the opposite of the Chicago Bears game, where that game was utterly awful. This game was great. This is a good win for them. The defense actually showed up and got to stop when they needed to. I was very impressed with what I saw from the Eagles Sunday. So this is a good springboard game considering they still ain't got nobody healthy. Devontae Smith got nicked up in this game. So the Eagles got a lot of injuries to deal with. But if they can just tread water up until AJ and all these guys get back, and then they're still trying to figure out that line without having Kelsey there, I like what I'm seeing from the Eagles. And I think the Saints might be, I'm not going to say for real, but the Saints are a comparable team. We thought this was going to be awful. So I don't know if I said this earlier in the video, but we have to start taking the NFC South other than, obviously, the dumpster fire known as Carolina Panthers. Other than that team, we got to start taking this team more seriously, or this division more seriously. They're not going to win nothing, but we should take them more seriously going forward. Geno Smith. Didn't get to watch his game as well. Wasn't in my market. They played the Dolphins, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. Shout out to Mike McDonald. He got them boys playing ball. Here are their numbers. Geno's numbers, and I wish he was still going on. I did not get to record an outro video, so this is my outro video. I'll talk to you guys next week.